From expanding his real estate business in his home country to potentially becoming the next billionaire in golf, here's Greg Norman's huge announcement detail revealed. There are some big changes happening in the Australian golf legend's life, because on one hand, there's the massive news about his league, Live Golf, merging with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. But while that's probably taking up the majority of his time right now, Greg's got his fingers in a bunch of other pies too. Everyone knows that he's well-rehearsed in designing golf courses. And trust me, he's built some real good ones over the years. This new venture of his, though, is brand new to him, because guess what? Greg Norman's gonna build and sell houses in Australia. Yep. After holding that incredible Live Golf event in the country, Greg's now ready to extend his grip and make an even bigger impact in his home country. I mean, they don't call him the Shark for no reason. Now, Norman's got a real estate company called Greg Norman Estates. And with this company, he hopes to build some luxury houses in an enclave and sell them on a first-come, first-served basis. Here's the real kicker though. The location for this enclave is absolutely stunning. Seriously, based in Gledswood Hills near Sydney, you won't find a better place to live if you're in the region. It's green, spacious, and most importantly, bug-free. Oh, and don't worry, it's not located in some detached forest in the middle of nowhere. No sir, this place has everything you could ever need. A gym, check. Tennis court, check. Hell, it even has an entertainment area and a swimming pool for the residents. What's more, construction is already well underway on this Greg Norman Estates project, with the Live CEO claiming that he's already sold a third of the houses. Like, that's just incredible. Now, Greg's obviously not building this alone. He's got a massive team under him working on the project too. That's because while the dude's a great golfer and all, he probably doesn't know much about designing houses. That's not much of a problem though, because he's also partnered with Sekisui House, which is one of the biggest house building brands in Japan. But wait, there's more. This isn't even the first time Greg has launched a real estate project. In fact, he's been doing it for a little over 4 years at this point, which is wild. I mean, it'd be fair to say that the dude's probably an expert at this stuff. What can he do? Coming back to his company though, did you know that his first housing project was in Los Cabos, Mexico? Yep, located on the southernmost tip of the Baja California Peninsula, this property was built in the Rancho San Lucas Resort, a private gated community that includes 36 luxury houses and 32 single-story estate homes. But here's the deal. These houses are located right on the beachfront portion of an 18-hole championship golf course. Oh, and get this. The course is also named after Greg. Do you know what's even more impressive, though? The Aussie legend isn't the only one in his family involved with this project. His wife, Kirsten Kuttner's actually an interior designer, and she played a big role in decorating the houses in the estate. Not to mention, she's a very accomplished interior designer and has worked on several 5-star hotels around the world, including the likes of Fairmont Cairo in Egypt. As for the houses in Mexico, well, they're not just your run-of-the-mill decorations. Each house has been designed with a specific theme in mind, though the overall thing is that they reflect Greg's personal lifestyle and taste. As a matter of fact, the Live Chief actually owns one of the houses in the estate. Now, the designs for these houses reflect the local culture, which, according to Norman, was super important. In fact, he thinks that this is why his real estate business is so different from everyone else, because he doesn't make the houses look intrusive. What's more, the homes also come with massive entertaining spaces, sunlit rooms, and some insane ocean views. I mean, that's the dream, right? But wait till you hear the prices, because these bad boys ain't coming cheap. You'd have to spend millions of dollars to buy one of these houses from Greg Norman. Yep, the estate homes range between $3.7 million to $7 million. As for the size, well, they range from 4,667 square feet and go all the way to 6,700 square feet, which means you get 3 to 5 bedrooms with 5.5 bathrooms. Now sure, these are big and spacious, but when you compare these prices to some places in the US, they're still expensive. Though that's the cost you've got to pay for having Greg Norman's name attached to your house. If you're a couple mil short though, then there are some oceanfront high-rise residences too, which range from $1.5 to $4.3 million. That's still not exactly cheap, but hey, at least you get a free membership to the Greg Norman Golf Club, and that's worth something, right? Oh, and you really don't want to miss the interior, because these houses are really special from the inside. The great room, for instance, has 14-foot-high ceilings with exposed wooden beams. Not to mention, it also includes an open kitchen, a dining area, and a living room with a fireplace. And yeah, it opens to a super cool outdoor space that overlooks an infinity pool. When you see those things, it's understandable why these houses cost so much. Obviously, there's a direct view of the beach and the golf course. Plus, if you want to relax outdoors, then there's a wet bar with a fridge, barbecue grill, and a bunch of seating areas with their own fireplaces. Now, we can expect a lot of these things to transfer over to his Australian houses too, except that they're gonna look very different. Just in case you're wondering though, then yeah, the houses in Mexico also come with a bunch of extra facilities like a shopping, dining, and entertainment complex, biking trails, and of course fitness centers with all sorts of sports facilities. Besides, who could ever resist living near Norman's private beach club, which is also open to the residents? It's insane. That being said, while Norman's real estate business seems to be booming, things aren't looking too good on the golfing side. Why? Well, it's because LIV Golf is merging with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour under one global entity. Wait a second though, shouldn't that be a good thing for LIV? I mean, that's what they wanted from the start, right? To become a mainstream golfing entity that can stand next to the PGA Tour. Besides, most LIV golfers will now be able to move back to the tour with their massive bags of money. Seems like a win-win situation to me. There's a catch though. You see, with this new merger, the PGA Tour will actually be in control of the new global entity, with investment coming from the Saudi Public Investment Fund. So, essentially, LIV Golf will turn into a secondary league within this system and won't be standing on equal terms next to the PGA Tour. Now, that could be a massive problem for both the league and, more importantly, Greg Norman. Because guess what? The Aussie legend wasn't even informed about the merger until it was announced publicly, and if the PIF does decide to merge LIV Golf into the new entity in some other shape or form, then Greg could be at risk of getting fired. But, of course, it's not all dark and gloomy in the Sharks' world, because he could still walk away from this as a billionaire. When you're the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar startup, you get some perks with it, and one of them is that you can't just be kicked out willy-nilly. Besides, Greg's too big of a name to be sidelined by the PIF just like that. In fact, since he was one of the driving forces behind LIV Golf and one of the biggest reasons why stars like Cam Smith joined the league, he could get a pretty hefty severance package as a reward for his efforts. Now, whether he'd want to accept that cash or not, that's another question, because for him, LIV is still going strong and isn't going anywhere. In a call with his staff, the dude went as far as to say that the Saudi league's actually going to get even better now. After all, they're going to attract a lot more sponsors and could get new TV rights deals too. So, when you combine that with Norman's booming real estate business across the world, you get a very successful businessman, one who could be on the verge of joining the very exclusive billionaire club in golf. And there you have it, from potentially becoming the next billionaire in golf to expanding his real estate business into his home country. That's Greg Norman's huge announcement details revealed.